get ready to rumble. Yes, that is what we are about to get into today on this show with two content creators, Teraney and Illasophical, where they both get into it. They both really get into it. I'm talking about they bump heads to the point where they are screaming at one another. And why? Because they are having the debate about who should be able to hold black women accountable for their actions. You heard me correctly. Who is able to hold black women accountable for their actions? Now, this debate came up because they were on a live with Fatty and they got into the discussion of things that men tell women to do in order to protect them without seeming like they are controlling. Yes, that's how they got into the argument. And I understand and I get it. Why? Because it's been an ongoing issue, especially in the black community with black men and black women. Black men cannot tell black women anything when it comes to how they dress, how they act in public, the whole twerking, cussing so much, all of that. A black man cannot tell a black woman anything for that matter without the black woman getting offended. Yes, they get offended, of course, and yeah, I've been through it too. I've experienced it too. So I'm speaking from experience, not from what I've seen on social media, not from movies. No, I have seen this myself. I've dealt with it too. And these men on the panel, they get into it because you can tell that they also have dealt with it too. Now you have to think about it. What is the common denominator here? If you have more than one man, two men, three men, four men, if you have a handful, not even a handful of men, you have a whole population of men telling you that they have experienced this friction between black men and black women where black men cannot speak on what black women do, then you have to believe what? The majority. And so she is the only female on this show, on this panel. And she gets into it with the males on this panel. And she holds her own, I give her that, but at the same time, she does not speak from facts. She starts speaking from feelings. And again, once you start speaking from feelings, what do you think happens? Your feelings get in the way of facts and the truth. And then you just start sounding irrational. So I want y'all to listen to this debate. I want y'all to listen to this argument as they go back and forth, because it's going to shed a light on a lot of the issues that are going on in the black community. And maybe not just the black community, other communities may be experiencing it too and just not speaking up about it. But you will see exactly why we titled this what we did. But before we continue, I need y'all to do three things for me. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share this video so someone else can do the very same thing. And if they don't, then we're going to send Fatty after them. Now, without further ado, let's get into this video.
Man is speaking up for women, which is fine. I love women. I think we should be together. But whenever a man is speaking up for women and he attacks men while doing it, women always can decipher the truth of that. But whenever a man is speaking about women, they can't seem to get to his logical point. It's like just too much biased people in this space. Like it's nonsense on both sides. It's a difference. I hear a lot of men complaining about things, maybe too much sometimes. I can agree with that. But I see men complaining, but I see women actually doing something to complain about. It ain't no men online doing crazy shit. They just talking and may have too much of a talking point that might be annoying to women. But when I turn on the computer, I actually see women behaving a certain way. I actually see women doing something that's actually deplorable, not just talking. So it's funny how they're taking words of men and putting that over the actions of actual women in real time. I just find that very hilarious.
He's focusing on men. Stop worrying about what women do. Women need to correct women. Y'all can't correct no woman. You don't know anything.
Hold on. I want to talk to you. Put you on the panel trying to correct men.
Being a woman, let's so serious trying to correct women. If Lucas sees some bussy going on, it's a good job, Lucas, for correcting men and telling them how they're out of line. That's his job.
So why you on a panel with a bunch of men talking? Why don't you go on a panel with some women and tell them that shit?
On my show, I do correct women. What do you think?
Well, you ain't on the panel with women right now. It's all men.
Listen, if men went on here and said, you know what, that Beyonce music is trash, these OnlyFans is trash, the way the women dress on the internet is trash, I'ma agree. 100% agree. But then when you start making this specific and saying black women, that's what I'm like, I'm a disagree, because I'm a black woman and I don't even know what the hell most of you guys even be talking about. The women y'all be choosing is these rare ass women from the.
Teraney, can I ask you a question though on real shit? Can I ask you a question right now? If somebody would just say, hey, black men they have a high crime rate in the inner city, or black men gang bang, I'm not gonna get offended. It's true. Okay. So you just say, you know, black women, first of all, we're black. So to talk about what another race is doing really doesn't matter. That's like if I'm in class and I get in trouble and I go home and say, well, Mom, the other kids were talking. That has nothing to do with me. I got to do what I'm told because I have a certain decorum that I was taught by my mother, and I got to stick to that script. So other people and what they do doesn't really affect our community, especially a community that's highly influenced by entertainment, because we come from broken homes. We come from a skewed background. So in entertainment and entertainers and athletes might have a bigger influence on our community, and television and media will have a bigger influence on our community than it would another community. So you mean to tell me you see women from all walks of life twerking on people's and twerking in people's businesses, telling other women that they should leave men alone, telling other women that they should kill their sons, telling women that men are just here to rape? This is a woman, I think her name is the Queenmaker. She's telling women that men are just here they're just programmed to kill, rape, and you shouldn't even deal with them. I don't see other women speaking like that.
You don't see other racist women speaking like that?
Not about their own men, no.
Okay.
And I don't even see them behaving that way either. Sulkyhana, they just fixed a clip of Sulkyhana. I mean, just this week alone, there's about 3 clips that are trending with black women acting crazy. You got Sulkyhana in England. You got Sulkyhana in England. As soon as she get off the plane saying she came here to get her pussy stretched and to lick some niggas' ass. You got Keke Palmer.
I would have to agree with Illasophical. I have not seen any women come out and speak against some of the misandry that goes against men. And if you don't know what misandry means, it is the hatred of men. Just like a lot of people don't even know what misogyny means, which is the hatred of women. And a lot of men, just because they try to correct a woman does not mean that they hate women. Just because they speak on the actions of certain women does not mean that they hate women. And so I don't see women out here actually speaking against misandry at all. I have not seen that yet. Well, no, I haven't seen that yet. I didn't even have to think about it. And so I have to agree with him on that and say that we as a people, we will correct men if men are out of line, if they're out of pocket. I've seen so many videos about black men speaking against the gang culture. Black men speaking against sagging your pants, cussing, calling each other ninjas, all of that. I've seen black men speak on that. But I've even seen black men speak on, you know, treating women as queens, treating women as princesses, treating women as they should be treated, treating women with respect. I've seen men, all types of men, and it doesn't matter what you want to call them, what names you want to use. I've seen men come out and speak, but I have yet to see a woman actually come out and speak against misandry and the hatred of men and the women who actually do hate men. That is one of the reasons why they are able to continue speaking against men. And when I say speaking against men, I'm talking about the hatred of men. That is the reason why it's able to continue and is able to spread so widely.
Can we not talk about entertainment?
Hold on. I'm just let me finish my point. What I'm saying is, these people are setting the tone for a lot of people. Our people do follow entertainment, males and females. That's true. We do follow them. We are influenced by them a lot, especially young people. So the young women are highly influenced by the women that they're seeing on television. They set the precedent for how they should act, how they should treat men. That's why companies who deal with media, who do they market their stuff to the most? Women, because women consume media more than men. So when you see our women in the media in today's, that's a fact. Most advertising is catered towards women. That's not even an opinion.
What's your point?
You say what?
What's your point?
What do you mean? What's my point? I'm explaining something. I'm trying to show you that women act a certain way that's pretty obvious. So it's not like men are just making this shit up. Every week there's a trending new clip of a woman that look like us behaving in a way that's deplorable. And women support it, repost it, and they like it, and they don't question it, and they don't fight it. That's every week we see that.
Okay. And every week there's another video of a black man killing his baby mama.
Stop there. One second. Teraney, you missed his point. The point is that he said it. If black men are accused of gangbanging or committing crimes, he's not going to fight it. He's going to say that's reality. It's okay. You can go ahead and talk about it. Do shows about it. Do shows about the black man kill a baby mama. It's fine. But when we actually talk about you, what do? Exactly what you did now. What about men? Like, why do you fight it? Why do you say, okay, that's reality. Let's accept it and let's move on. Let's talk about it and move on. Why the pushback?
I'm not. What I'm saying is, it's even. There's no uneven scale. It's even. Okay. Men do their crimes. Women do their crimes. My thing is, when you guys try to focus out one specific race of people and act like they're the only ones doing crime. If we want to talk about black women twerking, then we can also talk about how white women are injustice when it comes to hiring black women. Hold on, fatty. Over here in this country, if you have a black name, white women won't hire you. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about how our children are taught at a lesser value in school than white kids are by white teachers.
That's why I have to stop you. No, that's why I have to stop you.
We know what you're talking about.
One second. No, that's why I have to stop you. Ila talks about this shit all the time. Ila is worse than Ali, probably. Like, talk about community, talk about the importance of acknowledging the race abuses that happened before. Like, he actually acknowledged this shit. So again, it's not. Listen to this, Teraney. Can you have this conversation about this topic without saying, what about men? What about white woman? What about Asian woman? Let's talk about the Mandarin, and it is fine. The day that we do shows like saying most men are suckers, I don't see no woman coming here and says, what about woman being addicted to the... No, we talk about men being suckers. We do 6-hour show. We actually say that they are enablers, and we go from there. Nobody's going to talk about women. So why can we actually do the same thing without saying, what about this? What about that? Can we
need to focus on correcting each other, because you guys understand each other.
No, Teraney, please.
Y'all don't understand yourself.
No, Teraney. It's the last time I'm going to stop you. Teraney, are men leaders?
In 2023?
Now I'm asking your opinion on is a man a lead? Like, should men be leaders?
Men are supposed to be the leaders.
And if that's the case, they should be correcting everybody. Other men, other women, and kids. They should be correcting everybody.
Before you're a teacher, you have to be a student. And y'all come out the womb acting like you King Kong in this bitch. You got to learn first too, baby.
You're not saying general shit.
Am I wrong?
First of all, hold on. We seen women try to talk to black women, and they still was disrespected. Shahrazad Ali came to black. Hold on. Shahrazad Ali came to black women in a calm, respectful manner, late 80s, early 90s. And black women yelled at her, disrespected her. Ayana Van Zandt, she recently had a show called Fix My Life. She gave up. She gave up because she couldn't get through to black women. So even when black women try to correct black women, hold on, sweetheart, look at you. You can't even be quiet while I'm talking. You can't even be quiet for a second. You can't even be quiet for a second. I'm talking to you respectfully. I ain't cursing at you or nothing.
Video sentence either.
Hey,
you said what?
You said what? I actually got you.
Hold on. What she said? What you? I didn't hear you. What you say?
I said, could you put a period at the end of your sentence so we can have an actual dialogue versus
Ila, I actually got
you just got a short attention span. I'm sorry that I'm not stupid. I'm sorry, shorty. I don't know.
Okay, so for one, I don't know where she came from with the whole white women are not hiring black women if you have a certain name. I don't know where that came from at all. I have no idea where that came from. She's tripping. She was moving the goalpost. And when I say moving the goalpost, I'm talking about she picked it up and moved it all the way over there. No, maybe over there. But she moved the goalpost. Now, how do you get from one topic and one subject to a whole nother one? It's called accountability. They're trying to hold you accountable for what you're saying. But she does not want to hold herself accountable, and so she tries to move the goalpost so that she could win the argument, which in actuality, you're not going to win the argument like that. When you move the goalpost, it's clear to see exactly what you are doing. And then you start gaslighting. Come on, be real. I am impartial in this whole debate, in this whole argument. I'm trying to get to the truth. I'm trying to get to the bottom of what this debate is really about and why they are going back and forth about this subject, when it's clear to see that you should hold yourself accountable for your actions. If everyone was able to do that, then trust me, we would not be having these debates at all.
Actually, I got you. Don't worry. Illa, just trust me a second. Tyranny, who can police black women? Who can actually?
Nobody.
Black women can police black women.
So wait. No, do you listen what Illa said? Tyranny, you have to listen, please. Illa talked about a woman that has been doing this shit for 40 years, and every time she opened her mouth and talk about black women behavior, the other black woman turn around and actually trying to take her off the road, try to shame her, trying to say she's old, she's crazy, and all that. Actually, it doesn't happen. Let me give you another example. We have on this space women, for example, that are actually doing that job, and the first time they get on the room with other woman, look at that mammy, look at that peek me, she wants to be peeked, oh my god, look at that. Like, we are seeing this every single day.
Every day.
So let's be no tyranny. So let's be honest. Let's answer this question. And
Y'all cut me off.
Who can correct? No, it's fine. No, I will let you. I will leave you alone. Illa is not going to respond. I'm not going to respond. But answer to this, and please don't deflect. Don't go to other points. Who is actually not Kevin Samuels, not Fresh and Fit, not Fatty, not Amazing Lucas, not Illa, not Lou? Who can correct black woman? Tell me.
Black women correct black women. Not sure why y'all don't want to understand that answer. When we got our homegirls, we tell each other all the time, girl, don't say that. Girl, don't do that. Girl, I don't think that was cool with your man. Girl, maybe you should calm down at work. Girl, maybe you shouldn't say that to your kid. We correct each other all the time. Now, maybe you guys want us to embarrass each other. We're not doing that.
Who wants you to embarrass each other?
Hold on, bruh. Because I'm not going to say what you want me to say. I'm going to tell you the truth. And like
Shorty, I don't want you to say shit to me. I don't give a fuck what you think about anyway.
It's fine. Finish your point.
Have the same respect you want me to have for you.
You ain't have no respect. You don't have no respect.
Tyranny, please finish your point, please. It's fine. We're going to give you the microphone.
But when our sisters got each other, we got each other. There is a woman code just like there's a bro code. We always correct each other. When I had that panel last time I was on Aaron O's show, my sisters came with me behind closed doors and we talked. But that's none of y'all business, right?
We don't know what y'all talking about.
And it's none of y'all business. All you need to know is women have each other's back and we correct each other all the time. So when Lucas want to go on the panel and correct men, that's his lane. That's his lane.
So why
was women that's in the public eye, when they correct y'all disrespect them? Why was Sharon John Ali disrespected? Why did Iyanla Vanzant retire from reaching women? Why did she do that?
Iyanla is a psychiatrist, right? Right? She helps people in that she deals with trauma.
Hold on black women.
She deals with trauma. And when you're dealing with someone can I finish?
Just answer the question. Like you told me, put a period on that shit.
I'm not understanding. Put a period on that shit. Like you told me, put a period on that shit. Anyways, when you're dealing with someone with trauma, it's not that simple. It's not that easy. You're going to get pushed back. You're going to get fight back. You don't know what people go through. It has nothing to do with, bro, you're weird, right? Because you get mad at me anyways. You don't know what people go through. So if I'm sitting there telling you, you need to listen. But really, when I was 5 years old, the person that I listened to had touched me in a way that they shouldn't have, I'm going to have pushback, right? Maybe if you sit here and tell me that you think you know it all. But when I was,
I know it all.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about black women, okay? Maybe if you're dealing with a woman that does have that, you know, she wants to talk back, you have no idea what she's went through that put her in a position today. You guys,
let her finish so that we don't have no problem.
You guys look at the top of the flower before you look at the root. You got to look at the root to understand why the flower is the way that it is. Okay?
That's general for black people, period. That's not just privy to women.
That's strange
Like,
because
what the fuck is she talking about? Everybody goes. You can say that about any human on the planet.
but
that's not
that's
something
the
that's
point.
specialized to women. Everybody got a past. Everybody went through something traumatic. What the fuck is she talking
I
about?
think you're very selfish. I think you are a selfish
You
man.
don't know me. You don't know nothing about my
But
parents.
just the
I
way
can
you
say a lot
talk,
about
you're
what I think
selfish.
about
You only
you,
care about you.
I don't want
and
to do that.
yourself. You don't care about black women trauma. Do you know how many
Shorty,
black
I'm
women?
with you.
You
You're
know
not
how many
listening.
black
You're
women
not that
seen their
intelligent.
husbands hung on a tree?
Shorty,
Do you
I'm
know how
listening
many
to
black
the
women
down
lost their husbands to cop
All right.
brutality?
Yo.
Do you know how many black women's sons
Shorty.
were molested by their own dads? How dare you sit here and only act like it's
You're not listening.
as if
You're not
black
listening.
women
You're
can
not
go
that
through
intelligent.
shit
I don't know why
too,
you're on
bro.
the panel.
You gotta wake up and realize
I
it's
don't
not
even know
just
why
your
you even
black
on the
ass.
panel.
Black women was right there
You don't have
marching
no
for your
sense.
black ass. But yeah,
Shorty,
your
don't
ass
have no
is the
real
only one that
talking points,
matters.
Shorty.
Y'all
You
better
just mad. You don't
wake up
have
and
no
break the
talking
fucking
points. You
lies.
ain't read a
Black
book
women is
about
the
it.
reason that most of y'all black asses is
Shorty.
here because we're the ones out
Shorty.
there making a
It
difference.
takes
While you're
two
out there
people
putting
to
your
make a
opinions on
child.
every single woman. Stop
It takes
playing
two
with me.
people to make a
And
child,
what
Shorty.
Lucas is saying, you need to listen to. Y'all ain't got
Do y'all know what I heard? Do y'all know what I heard during that short segment? Excuses, excuses, excuses. And more excuses. That's all she was doing. She was just making excuses. And she's actually not listening. You have to understand something. Some people do not listen to answer, to reply. No. They just reply. They don't hear anything that you say, anything that you're saying. They don't try to get your point. They don't try to understand you. They don't try to dissect what it is you're saying. They just want to respond. That's it. You're just going to get a response out of them. And that's exactly what she's doing. Because they are clearly saying when black women actually came out and they were in the public space, on social media, they had the shows, the TV shows, and they were holding black women accountable for their actions and what it is they did. They got pushback. That's what those men are saying. That's what they're trying to tell her this, right? So that she can clearly understand that there is no one who can police black women. That's what they're trying to get her to see. Because when black men do it, we get pushback. And when you had black women doing it, they got pushback as well. But she doesn't seem to understand that, and she is going to try to move the goalposts some more and make up more excuses as to why it is so. And now she gets into the whole trauma. It's all about trauma, and you have to look at the root of the flower and not the flower first. We get the analogy. We get it. And that's exactly what it is we do. We don't just look at the flower that is in bloom and say how beautiful the flower is, but we don't look at how dirty the roots are.
I don't be listening to nothing. You don't know how to talk right.
And
You
ain't
just
shit
angry and
niggas.
by yourself.
But you
I get
display
it.
ain't shit behavior.
Shorty,
What you
I don't
talking
display
about?
ain't shit. You don't know me.
You're
You look
selfish.
like you
You're
going through a lot.
selfish. You're selfish.
Shorty, you don't know me. You don't
Tyranny.
know
You're
me.
selfish.
I'm not selfish. I just would never talk to you. You could never be around me.
Second, this is
I
becoming
don't give a
personal.
damn.
Shorty, you was getting robbed at the laundromat a couple weeks ago. You need to improve your living situation. You need
Anyway,
to improve your living situation. You was getting robbed.
baby,
at the
you don't know
laundromat
what you talk, baby. I live like a boss, baby. What
No,
you
you
talking
don't.
about? Get to
No, you
prove my living situation. Anyway,
No, you don't.
one thing I do know, you
you
selfish. You only care about you and yourself.
I
and
care
yourself.
about black
You can
people.
care less about your
I care
grandmama,
about black
your great grandmama, and your great great
You
grandmama.
sound dumb
You
as
don't care
hell.
about their struggles. You don't. I don't know what your
sound
problem
goofy
is.
as hell.
Y'all men got mommy issues. It ain't our fault what your mommy put you through. But at the end of the
My
day,
mother
we
raised
have
me
to
pretty
deal with
good,
your
yo.
black ass daddy, and we
Look
still
how you
dealing with your
talking.
black
Whoa,
ass
whoa, whoa,
daddy.
Tyranny,
And y'all
fucking
black
relax.
ass
How
daddies
you
is
talk?
on
You
this
proving
internet
us. You
talking hella
proving our
crazy.
point right now.
I don't give a
proving
damn
our
what
point
you
right
talking
now.
about. I don't care
You
what
ain't
you
got no
talking
respect.
about. Black
You
women,
ain't got no
black
respect.
women, y'all
Let
hold
it
on in
You
there.
got a
I
lot of
understand
airbed
all the
energy. There's
stuff
a lot of
you do,
airbed
She a
queen.
boss.
energy over there, man. I'm good on that shit, man.
Yeah,
It's
boss.
a lot of airbed energy over there.
Ain't no bad energy. Okay, fatty. Okay.
I'm not even going to acknowledge what happened here because, again, if you guys want to fight, don't pretend that this is a debate. When I say don't pretend that it's a debate, Tyranny, let's be, come on, Tyranny. Nothing that you said. You don't care about femicide? Come on, man.
Please, man.
Tyranny, no, what, Tyranny, stop. Do you trust me? Do you trust me?
I trust you, fatty.
This man is the most pro-black people on this panel right now. You have no idea. And when I say
You're not
pro-black,
intelligent. You don't know
one
what
second.
Don't
When I say
insult me.
pro-black, Iyman Ali, usually they go so far that are sometimes look at man, you motherfuckers need to chill about this pro-black. Like, they care about this shit. They talk about black woman issues every time. Like, they do. They actually do, Teraney. You have to trust me. So when you actually are doing this terrain, your daddy this and your mama that and da, he's showing that, like, listen to what you said. You have total empathy for his mother, but you don't have for his father.
They don't care about black women problems.
I love black women.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
I love black women.
Tyraney, stop.
You love to screw black women.
Stop.
I love all of black women who got class and decency and moderation and know how to speak and know how to act. Not loud mouth, weed wearing, airbed. I don't do that. I don't do the rap. No, I don't like
don't make it personal, but you black men don't care about how many women that has been through shit since they was 5. And when they grow up, hold on.
I was with a woman that got raped.
I'm going to move on. Again, you are literally wanting to fight using kind of arguments, but we're not going to do this.
I mean, Patty, can I just say one thing and I'm going to shut the fuck up?
If he's going to start a war...
No, it ain't about her. It ain't about her. I'm talking about me. I'm going to talk about me.
Okay, go ahead.
My ex-wife was raped twice before she was 7 years old. When I met her in a therapy session because my mother was her counselor. When I met her, I said, baby girl, maybe you just need a friend right now because of what you went through. You may not need a relationship. You may just need a male friend and just, be there for you because of what you went through. I've also worked in education. So I've worked with children from ages kindergarten to high school prior to even being in this space. So when I speak, I'm not speaking from the place of hate. I'm not speaking from a place of resentment. I love our people. But just because I love our people don't mean I'm going to pander to a man or a woman. So when people be claiming that they know how a person thinks, just deal with the argument that's in front of you. You don't know people. You don't know what I go through. I've actually worked with children and worked with people who really have issues. Like, I really done that. So my love for my people is very strong. But you don't know. But if you don't know somebody, you're gonna assume what you want to assume. But that's the problem. Too many people on these spaces that are just not. They not healed enough. So they speak from a place of pain and not a place of actual information and knowledge. They don't read a lot. They just watch a lot of shit on TV.
And Illa, what's the difference with black
women? I'm not
women?
talking to you, Jordy. I'm not talking
That's
to you.
fine. What's the difference with black women on these spaces that's twerking and acting a fool and putting on all this makeup and all this weave? They went through trauma too. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all.
We all went through trauma. Trauma don't give you the right to act a fool all the time.
You're talking to me. I'm confused. Y'all judging women based on what you see versus what they've been through. This is why I don't be getting mad at.
Y'all gotta understand something, right? She's being very aggressive and masculine. Is she not? That is masculine energy right there. Being combative. Starting the argument. You see, she went into ad hominem. She was started talking about the man's mom, the man's father. Yes, she got emotional. You could tell she got emotional. Now, this is where you could tell if a woman is truly masculine or not. It's when she gets emotional as well. Because yes, do men get emotional? Yes, we do. But for the most part, we are supposed to be stoic. We are supposed to think logically and not with our feelings, not with our emotions. Yes, as men, that's why we are the decision makers. Because when it comes down to making decisions, you have to make them based on what? Logic, fact, not opinion and feelings. Do you see what I'm saying? And so she is being very combative. She's being very combative. She's being in her masculine. And you can tell that she is a masculine woman. And she fails to sit there and actually listen to the men as they try to teach her something. And she never will. You can tell that she has a clear hatred for men. You can tell. But let's go further into the video and see how deep her hatred for men runs.
Really, when I see black men acting a fool, I understand y'all probably went through some shit. So I'm not gonna be sitting there quick to judge y'all.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I'm gonna say this. This is my last point. There's a difference between, black love. This is real black love, and then there's a fake black love. Real black love is, hey brother, you need to get your shit together. Hey sister, you need to get your shit together. The fake black love is, don't call me out on my bullshit, and I won't call you out on yours. You can keep that shit. That's nigga shit. That's not black love. But you
that's facts. That's
No,
facts.
that's not facts. Stay in your lane. That's
It is facts because you're not showing no empathy to black men at all. You're saying black women been through all this trauma. I didn't, Teraney, you're not gonna cut me off.
Go
I'm gonna tell
ahead.
you that right
I
now.
wasn't gonna cut you off. I was
You're not gonna come out. Just be quiet. Just be quiet for a minute though. I haven't even
I
talked.
got you. That's what I was gonna do.
You keep talking. All you keep talking about is empathy and sympathy for black women and their trauma. You have no sympathy or empathy for men at all. You keep talking about women. And you don't talk about the women who's touched little boys. You haven't talked about.
I got two sons.
You haven't talked about boys whose first experiences was grown. A lot of boys have been molested and touched by grown women or even little girls. So, like, why do you only empathize for women? You don't empathize for men. That's what you show. I do show idea because when you have men that speaks for men and women, you still attack those men versus men you claim that hate women. But even when a man is claiming he loves women and loves men and respects both of them and addresses men and women at the same time, you still say those men hate women. That's a problem with that. And you even said that we can't correct your behaviors, but you believe that a woman should correct the man behaviors and women's behaviors. But how are we gonna get correct if we can't call you out on what you're doing that's wrong, but you can call us out on what we're doing that's wrong? But then you say we need leaders. And then you say protect black women. But then you're going against black men and putting yourself in position to be a black man's enemy. So you got to be honest about what's going on in society. If men are asking you to behave in a certain way so we can protect you, you have to be under our full authority. It's simple as that. If you can't find a man you're going to be under his authority, then push him away.
The only authority.
Right, exactly. And that's your problem.
Is my husband's authority, not some stranger man.
In order to have a dialogue,
Hold on.
Everybody hold on. Let Teraney go. I just have a question for you, Teraney. Teraney, I'm not your husband, right?
Not yet.
Do you really think I would?
Oh, you not married yet?
No. She
I've
was
been married.
No, she was married before, right? But that's the thing.
Okay.
Let me ask you something, Teraney. We have Lou, Ray Midnight, 𝐂𝐚𝐧'𝐭, Work Responsible, Emeka, Illa, Sir, and Little King. Shout out to both of my brothers with on the bottom with the same haircut, looking fresh. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. But Teraney, listen to me, right? Do you believe that if we saw you on the street and something was happening to you, right, that we would look at you and say, tough luck?
Hell yeah.
No, I don't.
No. The thing is, Lil King actually answered that. That's totally fine. But I will guarantee you that most men on this panel will actually do something, especially if you were being overpowered or something was happening and they would understand they could do something to help you. They will do it. They're not your husband. They're not your brother. They don't know you they don't know you. But it's our first instinct to actually help you. Let me tell you this. Let's exclude all the men that think it's not their job to help you, right? They are not the leaders. They are leaders of their family. They are not leaders as a collective. Why do the other men that feel that there's obligation to actually protect you don't have the same power to actually say, hey, young lady, the dress is too short. If you go down the street, you're going to have problems. Turn around and go the other way. Shouldn't he have actually the authority to say, don't do that so you don't get hurt? Because if you go there, you are going to put me on a position where I'm actually going to have to go there to defend you. Isn't that actually fair?
Sure.
So this is what is happening. You said it's about the husband. It's not even about the husband. You know what's funny? Every time I get into problems with women, you know who comes and defend, and when no one comes and actually fights with me? Man. They say, hey, let me do such and such and such. Don't worry, I handle that. And they come here and defend it. And they are not husbands, they are not sisters, but they defend it because they think that's their job to actually do that shit. So you can play both ways. Either we are not responsible at all. You guys do whatever the fuck you want, and you actually have to handle the consequences of it. Or you say, men actually should be our leaders. These black men actually are the ones that should be protecting us. So when Seth says black man, that might be not my husband, says tyranny. I'm not trying to abuse my power. I'm not.
Now, y'all have to understand something. There are ain't shit men out here. There's a lot of ain't shit men out here. Yes, we can agree on that, right? Right. So we speak on those men as well. When we see those men acting and behaving in a degenerate way, we speak on that also. Now, of course, you have men who are going to advocate for that. Yes, you have men that's going to, you have men that are going to pedestalize degeneracy. Of course you do. But at the same time, you have another side, another group of men who speak out against it because we hold each other accountable. And in order to see men go in the direction that they need to be going, guess what? A lot more men are going to have to come out and speak out about all of this. I need y'all to leave a hold the applause in the comment section if you agree with me that we have to hold each other accountable, whether it's men or women, for the degeneracy and the deplorable ways that we live, that we act, especially when it comes to the public eye, because we all know that perception is everything. Now, she, again, is being very emotional and not listening, and these men are trying. Ali, he definitely spit some game to her. He definitely he dropped the hammer on her. She couldn't really say much. But then Fatty had to jump in because he realized that, again, she was about to start making excuses, talking about trauma. It's all about my trauma. It's all about the trauma that these other women went through, that these black women went through. It's all about trauma. That's all. See, that's her excuse for this argument. It's all about the trauma that you went to, which then turns you into the person that you are. And if you're dealing with that trauma, then you're going to get pushback because that is that person's defense mechanism. That is how they defend themselves against attackers, people who attack them in public spaces. That's where she's getting at with this trauma logic. But in actuality, it doesn't matter if you've been through trauma or not. It's still the type of person that you turn out to be. Because we've all been through trauma and we've all experienced trauma, right? Right. But this argument was really heated. It gets even more heated. And let's finish out this video so that we can come back to my commentary and I can get y'all on y'all way.
Trying to actually make sure that I'm bigger than you. I'm just saying, please don't go that way. Don't do this. Don't talk like that. Why is the buck back? Why do we have to fight? Why do they say, you're not my dad, you're not my husband? Why does that happen?
I just want to add something quickly to the conversation regarding something. Sometimes you tend to have good points at times, but nonetheless, when you're having a conversation and you want it to be effective, there's such a thing called active listening, and us men actually fall in fault in that dynamic also. In the dynamic of active listening, you actually have to take a step back and actually understand what the people are saying. And the best way to actually reply to the conversation is understanding what they said initially and understanding their position on it and then giving your position on it. You're not wrong in having a combative mentality towards what they say, but nonetheless, to actually have that active listening where you can actually get your point out effectively, you actually have to take into consideration some of the things they're saying. Illasophical actually brought up a point in regards to how women reacted. If you acknowledge that and then brought up your point, y'all would have had a way better dialogue in that situation. That's just my 2 cents.
I have a quick question to Teraney.
Okay, so what you say, Mika?
I have a question for you. So, don't you think that correction is love?
Correction is love.
Okay,
but there's a difference between correcting someone and controlling someone. And a lot of shut
the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
No, little kid.
Look at this man.
Little dark-skinned girl always constantly coming up here with dumb shit. Talking about femicide and fucking
controlling.
It's not funny. It's not. It's not funny, yo. It's out of control.
Because he's right.
We were just all having a normal conversation.
I agree with Little King. No, there was no normal conversation. I agree with Little King.
And I'm happy that Teraney is doing this because this is what happens in people's relationships, bro.
That's crazy.
Right.
This is what happens between people.
Little King is 100% right. Men do practice emotional intelligence.
Wait.
So when I'm talking,
literally today, women like this do this dumb shit what Teraney doing, and it really fucks up the mentality of the woman that's trying to be a woman in that relationship.
Did I cut any of these men off? Hold on, did I cut any of these men off? Hold on, now y'all got to bring out the tyranny.
It's fine.
It's been out.
I can respond, and then all y'all
one second. This tyranny. This is my problem actually with what you do. Illa talk with you on an aggressive way, right? You didn't understand. I tried to be nice. You didn't understand. To work responsibly was very impartial, and he was actually giving you advice without raising his voice and all that. You didn't understand. Lil King screamed at you. You didn't understand. After 3 men, one second. If me, Ali, and Twerk talking to you respectfully and nice, and the first thing you say, there's a difference between correction and control. Like, you went to the worst situation possible when we were talking from a place of love. Even in
Let me talk so I can respond.
No, even in Mecca asked you a great, even in Mecca asked you an awesome question. Don't you think that correction is actually love? And you said yes. So you acknowledged it, and instead of staying there, you literally went to the worst part of the room and says, yes, I acknowledge that. But there's a difference between control and correction. Why? Why he goes for the worst things possible?
Okay, so if I can respond, when Twerk
please, nobody interrupt her. If you interrupt her, I'm going to drop you so she can finish, and then I'll bring you up. Go ahead.
When Twerk was talking, I didn't cut him off. When Emeka was talking, I didn't cut him off. I actually...
Correction is love. True or false? We all know that correction is love, because in order to correct someone, that means you want to see them do the right thing, right? Right. And once you control someone, just like your child, you correct your child, right? Whenever they're doing something wrong, what do? You correct your child. Just like your spouse. If your spouse is doing something wrong, what do? You correct them. Just like your brother, just like your sister, just like your friend. You correct them because you do not want to see them go down a certain path. You don't want to see them do bad. You don't want to see them live up to a stereotype. And so you correct those people, and you hope that they take your constructive criticism well, and they try to change that about themselves. But sometimes you have those people who do not take criticism well, especially constructive criticism. They do not take it well at all. And she has been Teraney has been a clear example of this the entire show. She does not take criticism well, even if it's constructive. That is what Fatty was getting at, because you had 4 different men speak to her in 4 different ways, and even then, she still could not get it. Do you think she ever will get it? Leave a comment in the comment section and let's talk about it. Until next time. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content.